We're 2.5 hours into trading on Friday, November 5th. Hello, traders. Let's take a look at yesterday's pick. KR was a stock that I really liked. I felt that we may have a chance to retrace half of this long green candle. We want that support to hold. Selling the out of the money 41.40 bullish put spread, expiring the last week of November for a 20-cent credit. I still like it here. This is not the type of stock that makes really big moves. So when I see a candle like that, I expect some of it to retrace. Our bullish put spread is still below the 100-day moving average, below the 50-day moving average, below that support right here. I still like it. I think this stock is going to do well going into Thanksgiving. And I also showed you Nike yesterday. That was the other stock that I like. It was not my pick of the day, but I had mentioned to you downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside. I like it right here. Got that longer term upward sloping trend line to lean on, and I had specifically mentioned buying a call debit spread on the notion that the stock was going to be able to challenge the high here at the resistance level and break through it. Nike has been fantastic. Let's go into that 5-minute chart and you can see the strength. So I like that one. I've got a couple of great picks lined up for you today. Market's been pretty flat since gapping higher. So let's take a quick look. Look at that big gap higher. Unemployment report came out favorably this morning. 541,000 new jobs created. Also, we had an upward revision to September's number. Also good news. You can see how the market has not been able to advance. A gradual drift lower. Now we have a bullish 10p cross. Typically, that would thrust us through the high of the day. The fact that we have not gotten any traction off of this bullish cross and the fact that the market's been gradually drifting lower tells me that this opening price right here, where we're at support, is going to be challenged, and we've got a chance to fill in some of this gap. So I'm a little bit bearish going into the afternoon. I'm not looking for a bloodbath here. This tight compression today tells me that there are buyers and sellers. They're paired off. This is equilibrium. So if we do break down, it'll probably be a choppy, herky-jerk test to see how much of that gap we can fill, and then probably a little bit of a late day rally. I say that because the market has been in an incredible trend higher. A little bit ahead of itself? You betcha. Possible buying climax? You betcha. Draw your upward sloping trend line here across the tops, and you can see that we're breaking out through the upper end of it. That typically sparks some selling pressure. So I would not be taking a bunch of positions, long positions, and holding them over the weekend. That is not what I'm advocating, but I'm going to show you some stocks that are gaining some traction right now. They have not participated in the market rally to a large degree. They look good today. Might they do well Monday, even if the market pulls back a little bit? Yeah, they probably will. So these are stocks that you want to have on your radar. Let's go into the 5-minute chart. Let's keep an eye on the S&P. I'm going to put a alert right here so that while I'm doing this, double click, we can see if we get a breakdown through the low of the day, then we will fill in some of this gap. But let's take a look at some bullish stocks. Once the market finds support, these are stocks that you're going to want to be in. I did a fairly easy search today, and this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for strength versus the S&P 500 on a 5-minute basis. Why on a 5-minute basis, Pete? Because what has the market done in the last half an hour? Tick, 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 lower. I want stocks that are tick, tick, ticking higher. So we're going to be looking for stocks that have been able to move higher even though the market's moving lower. I'm going to be looking for heavy volume on a 15-minute basis. When the market's doing absolutely nothing, I want to be able to see stocks that actually have good volume. What does that mean, good volume over the last 15 minutes? Option Stalker compares the average volume for every stock for every 5-minute increment during the course of the day. So we're not comparing volume relative to the past 15 minutes. We're comparing volume to what the stock normally does during this particular time of day. I find that to be much more relevant. So this allows us to see heavy volume spikes in the middle of the day. I'd also like to see a stock that's greater than the prior day high. Hey, if on a big market gap up like this, the stock can't even get through the prior day's high, it's of no interest to me. It's at least got to be able to do that. Finally, I'd like to find some stocks with good option liquidity so that I can trade options. Today is Friday, so we probably will have some option lottery plays later in the day. So you need to be patient right now with your longs because I'm looking at the market possibly coming in right here. So let's take a look at what we've got, and I'm going to go in and click through these charts. I'm going to look at 5-minute charts. Not the best, but you can see that the stock did gap higher, and now it's been able to grind higher while the market is pulling back. I've got to take this screen off, but this is all I'm going to do is click through these, and I'm going to do it pretty quickly. So, yes, travel and entertainment stocks doing great today. Nice breakout above this downward sloping trend line through the 200-day moving average. Looks great. I think airlines could do well in here, but I've got other stocks that I like better in the travel and entertainment. I just got out of some Disney calls, which is nice. Made some decent profit on that. This is a breakout through horizontal resistance. Earnings after the close yesterday. Look at that long green candle. Airbnb, I love it. I think this stock is going to continue to go higher. We just had a breakout to a new high of the day. I like Airbnb. I think it's going to continue to go higher. It is your pick of the day. Let's not stop there. Let's keep going. I'm going to keep clicking through all these stocks, and I'm going to show you how we find relative strength. Downward sloping trend line, long green candles stacked. Yes, ARMK looks really good. Daily chart, beautiful. Compression here through horizontal resistance. You want to be able to find these stocks quickly. That's what Option Stalker does. I'm going to continue to go down the list. BLDE, resistance at the 200-day. This is nice that it's through the 50-day downward sloping trend line. Still has to be breached to the upside, so it's not quite there yet. But if it gets through that, actually it is through that, now you're getting through this downward sloping trend line. It should have traction enough to get to that 200-day moving average because it's breached that downward sloping trend line. Yeah, BLDE looks good. Click, click, click. All we're doing is going through the list. So easy to find these stocks. Relative strength. Look at that stock power higher, market down. Yeah, I like it. This one looks good. Let's go into the daily chart. Love that breakout right there. CCL. Another travel and entertainment. This is Carnival Cruise Line. I got to keep moving through here. Look at this CLS. It's beautiful. Boy, is that stock powering higher. That is a gorgeous chart. Look at that. Actually, I can put a volume overlay up here, and then you'll be able to see the volume, and you'll be able to see that the volume is currently higher than what it normally is because we have a indicator that we're able to overlay on that volume. I'm going to keep going through the list. COUR. It's another one. You can see, don't like it because it's got to get through that high of the day. If I was interested in this, I would double click that. I'm not that interested because look, we've had heavy selling pressure on it. DAL is the next one, airline. We know those are all doing well. This stock had earnings before the open, powered higher, pulled back. Take a look at the daily chart. And you can see there's a lot of horizontal resistance there, so it's not of interest to me. EXPE, another travel and entertainment stock, resistance right there. Lots of herky-jerky price movement. I like Airbnb better. FSR, this is a beautiful little breakout. Look at that stock just poking right through there. Long green candle on its high of the day, above the major moving averages, through this downward sloping trend line. Earnings a couple days ago after the close. Look at that 5-minute chart. You think you could day trade this and make some money in here? By the way, look at these buy and sell arrows. They are spot on. It's telling you stay long. You do not have a blue exit arrow on that yet. GOEV. Continuing to move higher, fairly thinly traded. GOLD looks good, breaking out through the high of the day, through the prior day's high. GOLD, downward sloping trend line. I'm not a big gold bug. I can't figure gold out. It's been very random price action. Downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside. Nice path to the 100-day. Looks pretty good. Jetblue is the next one. Jet's the next one. I'm going to skip the airlines because they're all over the place. This is a very choppy stock, but through this nice 100-day moving average in here, not a favorite. LCID, IPO, car manufacturer, electronic car manufacturer. Nice. Nice. Decent volume too. So LCID looks pretty dang good. Not a lot of history, a little more risk on that one because the stock does not have a lot of history. Look at this stock power higher. Let's go into the daily chart. This is LRCX. Semiconductors catching a bid, downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside, above the 200-day, above the 100-day, powering higher today. Looks good. Can't really trade options on that. They're not that liquid. LVS looks good through this horizontal resistance right here. Got a little bit of room up to that 100-day moving average, but I have a stock that I like better in the gaming space. Nice here, compression, get through the 50-day moving average. That's good. Double click on the high here. If it gets through that, I want to know about it. Could happen Monday. NCLH, cruise line, beautiful breakout right in there. I like that. That looks nice. Look at that breakout right here through the 200-day moving average, downward sloping trend line, PLAY. Looks pretty decent. I'm just going to keep going through. RCL is the next one. This one's chunky, PLNT. That is Planet Fitness, I believe. Big gaps higher. Not too crazy about it because it's choppy. Going to get down to the bottom of the list here very quickly. This is not too bad. Downward sloping trend line. Breach to the upside, got above the 100-day moving average, relatively choppy stock. I don't know this one, VWE, thinly traded. When you see choppy price action like that, spotty, then you know it's pretty thinly traded. I like WIN. This is a really nice one as well. Compression right in here, upward sloping trend line. Through that, it's got room to the 100-day. Yep, I like that one. WIN is really nice. ZS. Look at that stock grind higher. Beautiful strength. You can see relatively strong compared to the market, continuing to power higher. There's one stock that I did not see in here, and I like it. Disney. Look at that baby go. And here you also have downward sloping trend line. I'm going to draw it for you. Above the 100-day moving average. If Disney can hold that 100-day moving average, it's probably going to test that 200-day moving average. Right now with stocks at an all-time high, asset managers are looking for stocks that have been laggards. They're going to attract some attention. But hey, here's a side note. When you start to see all the laggards leading the market rally, that is typically the last gasp of a bullish trend higher. Doesn't mean that we're going to fall apart, but it means that we're likely to see some selling pressure over the course of the next week or so. Just a pullback. I call that the dogs are barking. So when you see all these laggards bouncing off of their lows, it's time to be a little bit cautious because it tells you that that's the final rotation that asset managers have into a lot of these laggards. They don't really want to keep chasing stocks that are super, super hot, that have run up really far. So then they kind of start going in and trying to find some bottom fishers. Just a little information for you. I do like the travel and entertainment space. Airbnb is your pick of the day. I like that one. And let's take one more look at that chart. Looks great. Had that recent breakout right in here. Retracing a little bit. It's going to hold half of this long green candle right here, which is the prior high of the day, and then it should go higher. Any help from the market is going to fuel that stock higher. That's all I've got for you today. Please leave your comments. I'll make sure to reply. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.